Good afternoon everybody, welcome to Apex Racing TV and the iRacing Grand Prix Series. Season 1, 2016, we're at Interlagos. Awesome circuit, been some epic battles over the years at this track, not only on iRacing but of course in the real world Formula 1 and many other series that it hosts as well. I'm joined by Conrad Venter today. Conrad, what do we expect from today's race?
I think same as we've seen in the previous 6 weeks, and hopefully, we're in for a great show, and we've got a nice big field to go with it as well. So hopefully all goes well.
Just a iconic track, really. You know, it's we're so used to this being towards the end of a season. Just how many championships have been decided at Interlagos over the years? It's crazy to think, really. But yeah, 3 splits today, so we've picked back up. We thought pretty much that would happen. A combination of perhaps the graphics issues at Nürburgring, and then of course the Daytona 24 hours really set that back a little bit. But yeah, so pretty high strength of field I think today. Currently we've got Patrick obviously setting the way in qualifying, smashing the field actually at the moment. He's looked very strong all week. Yeah, and then just a whole host of other World Championship drivers in here as well, mixed with some up-and-coming Class A talent as well.
Yeah, we've got a couple of new names in here today, and I think I can spot about 3 or 4 of them. But apart from that, we've got the same old operators. Patrick Holzman currently sitting on pole position, so I'm pretty sure he'll be looking to continue his form over the last few weeks.
Quite sure why the mini-map's not showing up, but we all know what the track looks like anyway, so that's at least a good thing. Just going to bring up the championship stand-ins in a moment, and we'll take a quick look, see how everybody's doing. But as I know, Patrick won a very high strength of field yesterday, so got a whole host of points. So I think this is just it's just a bit of practice for him today. He's already got his points for the week.
Yeah, it's the interesting thing about so many races going official now with the new cars. Guys have the opportunity to do multiple races and get a good point scoring race in there before these races on the weekends or on Sundays. So not everything necessarily comes down to this one particular race each week.
Yeah, just taking a look at the table at the minute. Bear in mind this is a bit of a mix with drivers doing sort of 6 and 7 races so far at the moment. Patrick still leads the way on 1,682 points from Sebastiano Falosa in second on 1,625. He's done 7 races though, or weeks counted, sorry. Matt Farrow in third, followed by Giuseppe, Bart, Boris, Sebastian Dunkel, Jamie, and Stein Shorthurst as well. So top 10 is round out by Jan Switter. So it's pretty close there as well, 1,200 points for 10th place at the moment, so anything could go. Like I say, there's a few drivers in there that have only done 5 weeks as well, so it's yeah, it could all be mixed up before the end of the season, no doubt.
Yeah, of course, next week we have it's week 8, and then from there on in drop round starts kicking in, so there's a lot to play for, and a lot can change in the last 4 weeks as well.
I think qualifying is all but over now. Conrad, do you want to just take us through the starting order?
Yeah, let's quickly run through the order. We've got Patrick Holzman on pole position. Joining him on the front row is Marin Kolak, Stein Shorthurst in 3rd place, Marty Piatella in 4th. And then we've got Sebastiano Falosa and Riley Preston making up the next row. Michael Denkel and Massimiliano Ficara in 7th and 8th, Bartelat in 9th, Yunus Nukarinen in 10th place, followed by Carlo Labatti and Sebastian Dunkel. Just behind them is Boris Spoelstra, Marcus Jensen, Jan Schwitter, Johan Orlampi. In 17th place we've got Marco Diacunto, Matthew Daniels, Mika Happinen, and on the final row we've got Timu Valkayavi and Matt Farrow.
Awesome job, mate. Thank you for that. Right, everybody's just gridding up. It's going to be a great race. It's all important to get the start well here. We've seen a lot of crashes over the years in different iRacing series, so I think we could see it all again. Marin still showing with his with his rookie livery.
Turn 1 is certainly interesting around here. It's a nice uphill start, and then turn 1, yeah, going into it's a bit of a downhill corner, and yeah, 20, 21 or 22 cars filtering to that one corner is always something happening there.
Right, here we go then. Lights are out here at Interlagos. Patrick gets a little bit of wheel spin, but gets a good start. Covers off the inside already from Kolak, but Kolak got bogged down. Marty Patella coming through the middle of him, and I'm not sure who that is there in the gap car there. So, but yes, great start from Patella, up into second place straight away.
Oh, Alex turn 2 is a parking lot with Mika Happinen, Dunkel, somebody else involved in there as well. Matthew Daniels all getting tangled up in, well, out of turn 1 into turn 2. There's going to be a couple of cars running with damage already.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there. Yeah, Stein there who was got all the wheel spin and just dropped back, but it's tucked up behind Marty right now. I've seen how quick he is in races throughout this season already, so I expect him to give Marty a whole load of hassle. But yeah, let's see what the Coanda driver can do compared to the Thrustmaster Mivano car there as well. So WCS driver 1 and 2, followed by an up-and-coming star, I think. You know, does a fair bit of real-life driving, and I'm sure if he sticks with the sim stuff, we'll see him in the World Championship as well.
It looks like everybody's just found their own little gap as they finish lap 1.
Great little battle going on between, I think this is Jonas Ficara and Jensen as well.
Oh wow, somebody in front of them. Riley Preston and Bud Dillard.
Oh, that's very
having
close.
A real
Riley
ding dong.
Yeah, he was by really quickly as well. Couldn't quite manage to get that, say, the Orion car. The livery suits quite well on the McLaren, looks nice. Just nice and straightforward. Wham, here's some sponsors. Works though.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to do much sometimes. Simplicity is sometimes the best option.
We'll see if they change anything for the World Championship. Starts in the end of February, of course.
Just put a strap down the side of it.
Stick with this, we've got Dinkel here as well. He's getting particularly close, maybe wants to have a little look on Riley. Pulls out a little bit, shows his nose, but doesn't make any sort of move. Of course, Michael, another driver who's got himself promoted into a World Championship spot. There's a lot of drivers in this grid today that have promoted themselves up through the Pro Series as well. So
Riley Preston got that move done on Bartolot going into turn 4. So he's made up a spot into 6th place. Yes.
Jump that back because we were just looking at Michael and missed that. Yeah, great exit out of turn 3. Not easy through there this week. Very easy to get a little bit loose coming out of there. It's a late move as well. Oh, very late indeed. But Bart had no choice but to concede the position. Looks like there was a puff of smoke ahead of him as well. I think that was Faloso and Marin, was it? Having like a little battle or something in front of Riley. Just at the same time that was going on, no issues. They continue on their way.
Well, these guys certainly aren't holding back this week.
Marin running a little bit wide through turn 1. He's going to put himself under a lot of pressure now going into turn 4. Faloso surely with the DRS. Nothing for Marin, although it is deployed, so he's just inside the zone. Needed that. I think he was a sitting duck if he hadn't have been able to deploy that as well. It was all but over that fight.
A lot of movement going on from Marin down that straight, into turn 4 to the left, and then straight back, cover off the right to take the corner.
Yeah, Patrick just winding his pace up again, pulled away, 2.4 seconds, just lapping so consistent, but also fast as well. Very impressive. Definitely going to be one to watch, I think, for the World Championship. I say that as a driver and as a commentator.
Yeah, well, that's pretty impressive. Paces half a second quicker than anybody else on track at the moment. Well, the only other person to dip into the 112 so far is Stein, Scott Horst in third place, and he made that by just about 15 thousandths of a second.
Vicara having a little look on Eunice, couldn't quite get it done. Got Marcus Jensen just behind them. These three have been pretty much as they are, just from lights out. So see what either driver can do. Eunice just not been quite there this season, Conrad. We expect to see him normally up the front, and I know he does fight his way through. Race pace definitely seems to be a lot better than qualifying pace, but yeah, it just seems to be just a little bit behind where you would expect to see him, and all the other pro drivers that are in here that he's, you know, he was beating in the Williams FW31. He's just not able to get the better of them at the moment.
Yeah, we know he was struggling last week, and we were speculating right through the race as to the reason why that was happening. And I mean, he did say afterwards that he was struggling with the Nürburgring screen stutters. But I mean, there's just problems around Interlagos, so it'll be interesting to see if he's had some problems, or if it's just, you know, getting used to the car, or what the problem is.
Looking at it's Jensen putting the pressure onto Vicara now. Eunice just jumped away a little bit. Closest battle on track. Like I said, all of a sudden a bit of a bad line into the uphill right-hander, and we'll see Eunice back in the shot. Goes a little bit wide again at the hairpin, so built up a little bit of a safety margin. It's all just disappeared again. Also Falosa getting a little, well, I said a little close, very close to Marin Kolak. This is the battle for 4th place now. Just lost a little bit of time in that downhill left-hander. Very tricky, easy to spin the car going down there. Car just gets a little bit loose on the rear end as you go through there. Patrick puts another fastest lap of the race. We can't see that because it's hidden. But yeah, the Milano guy's looking very good actually. Faloso, he's been very consistent all season. I dare say they're using the same or very similar setup at least anyway. But yeah, team's looking strong.
Just a quick update on that turn 1 incident at the start of the race as well. We've got Mika Happinen. It looks like he's done for the day. He's been in the pits since that incident. Dunkel pitted as well. He's back out on track, running in 20th place at the moment, but he's well behind, 1 minute and 2 seconds. So I'm going to assume he's still carrying some kind of damage. So it won't be long before he gets lapped.
Interesting little battle forming up at the back as well. We'll try and cover everything. So Marco and you are here for this is 16th and 17th place. They've got Timu just behind them as well. So I think they were a few drivers that had to get out of all that melee, didn't they, at the start? So find themselves way back off the back of the pack. Still doing what they're doing, having a lot of fun, I dare say, out there in this 3-car, soon to be 4-car battle, as Matt Daniels is coming up behind them as well.
Yeah, Daniels, Valkiavi, both of them were involved in turn 1. I think Lampi might have been in there as well. So I mean, they're lapping in the 114s at the moment, so they're well over the pace. But in respect to each other, it should be a close battle for those minor paces.
We've got Matt Farah closing in on his teammate as well. Boris is just ahead of him, half a second. They're closing in on Jan Switter as well. We've seen in recent weeks Jan often goes for a slightly lower downforce setup to make himself very difficult to overtake, but also open up overtaking for him if he comes across a slower car. So we'll see how these guys fare trying to get past Jan. It does look like Jan's dropping off the back of Marcus. We just lost him for a second. I think it was just a little connection drop.
Sebastian Dunkel's back in the pits as well, so I'm pretty sure his race is over as well. Yeah, he's out of the car. Back.
Yeah, Jan just able to hold his own. It's just the teammates look like they're going to have a battle more than anything. Nothing really changing between the battle between Ficarra and Eunice and Marcus at the moment.
I was just having a look back at, again at that lap 1 incident. Carlo Labatti got sandwiched in between 2 cars. He's carrying a lot of damage. Eunice involved in that as well. That's where it all started, really. We had Eunice, Sebastian Dunkel and Carlo Labatti all coming together, and a few other cars just getting caught up in that.
Riley just doesn't have the drive out of the, technically it's the penultimate corner, but it's pretty much the only one you really have to worry about, last corner there. So, and yeah, just can't keep on the tail of Velosa to allow the DRS to be able to, and the draft of course, to get him up and alongside the Thrustmaster car there. But have to see perhaps different engine modes going on out there right now, so maybe some fuel saving, or not fuel saving, energy saving, sorry. Maybe we'll come back at him a bit later on.
I'm feeling like I'm running through damage reports this afternoon. Riley Preston might just be struggling a little bit with his front end as well. He made contact with the back end of Bartolard just a lap before he overtook him. Well, that was into turn 4, so yeah, he might find it a little bit difficult just follow as closely as we'd like to with an intact front wing. Yeah, but you're right. Filosa's just driving away from him coming out of the last corner. Filosa has got the DRS as well. Boris Spoelstra has just moved up into 12th position. Jan Schwitt is really under pressure at the moment. Oh, he's just got overtaken by Matt Farrow as well. Has he got a problem?
Having a look, sorry, was just sorting out a little issue with the sound. Got a new camera pack this week, and yeah, just the gain's just a little bit high, and deafening a few people on the stream, so apologies for that, but yeah, we've got it under control now. Yeah, it seems to... no, he was always behind his teammate, wasn't he? But they've both got by Jan, haven't they? So, and Carlo down there as well. What happened to Carlo? He was a bit further up, I'm sure.
Yeah, Carlo Labatti is a...
Oh, Jensen going for a move further up. Let's have a look. Had a look on Ficarra. Very late. Couldn't quite get it stuck. Nothing else happening there. I just thought perhaps there for a moment that we're going to see some sort of run. Definitely seems to be the cork that's holding everybody up at the moment. So it's the Eunice train. Everybody else is closing in as well. So you've got Boris catching up, Farrow's on his tail, Schwitter behind them, Labatti as well. Before long, there's going to be 6 or 7 cars in this train.
Yeah, and there might be a reason as to why that is. And so we were discussing Eunice's place a little bit earlier on. I was looking back at the start, and the 3 cars that set off the the accident in turn 1 was Younes, Labati, and Dunkel. They all got together in a little sandwich, and that set off a whole chain reaction. So all 3 of those cars, Dunkel is out already, but Younes and Labati is going to be carrying damage. They will have issues with their cars.
This time surely Jensen with the run. Car looks very vulnerable. Marcus tucked up, long side. It's all going to be about who can break the latest. Very close. Car leaves the room. Jensen pushes a little bit wide, but leaves just enough room there. Good driving from both of them. Car just unable to defend it. He tried his absolute hardest there. Hassel instantly let Boris and Matt Jan all close right up onto their tails as well. Just look at the time they lost there. Younes 1.5 seconds up the road following that. Pelosa, Kolak and Preston still having their battle. 4th, 5th and 6th. They're having their battle. They've not really tried to make a move on each other at all. We're, nearly 15 laps into this race? 14 even, can't count. But
that's just a question. I think I follow the leader at the moment. We've just seen how much time you can lose if you start going side by side with someone, and no doubt one of them might just be thinking, play the long game, play a smart game, and just create a gap to the guys behind you first before you start throwing up the inside of the car in front of you.
Just give our leader a little bit of attention again. Can get a great deal. But I'm not sure why his flag's not showing up this week. Weird. Patrick, of course, from Germany. Let's have a quick look at his last lap. 12.7. So, and as he comes across the line, 12.7 again. So, yeah, super consistent. Pulling away about 0.3 of a second from Marty behind him. So those first few laps absolutely blistering. It just seems like a few people struggle to get up to pace, where Patrick's on it from the word go. And but he's already built up enough of a lead by then. I mean, he's still pulling away now, so I shouldn't really say anything. Stein closing in on the back of Piutella though, so this could be an interesting little battle. There've been about 1.5 seconds between them for quite a while, but yeah, slowly closing in. Half a second at the moment. I was watching Marty in a race earlier on this week. A couple of Apex drivers in there as well. Car's pretty quick in a straight line and gets out of that final corner well. So it's not going to be easy for Stein to get past.
We all know Marty, and we all know he's a seasoned campaigner and a wily old fox. So. We'll see what Stein can do to get past him.
I won't appreciate you calling him old, you know.
Well, in terms of let's just go in terms of iRacing years. We'll call him a veteran. I'm not sure whether call him a veteran is
that's even worse.
Better or worse.
But no. A driver that's been on the grid for quite a few years now as well, like you say. He knows how to best defend, and this is not going to be easy for Durst at all. If he manages to get a run, you can be sure that Marty will put his car just where he needs to make it as difficult as possible. And of course this is great racecraft practice for Stein as well, for his his real racing career. Preston and Filosa. Getting pretty close again to the back of Kolak. But it looks like it's going to be Preston who's going to make a move, if anything, before long. Looks very close. You know, he doesn't mind putting a bit of a late move in. Got a good exit out the final turn this time as well.
Oh, that does look good, doesn't it?
Just dropping back though, this is what I was talking about, the Thrustmaster car, very fast. in a straight line. DRS is deployed, able to defend. If anything, actually pulled away down the straight there, even with the draft and whatnot that Riley had. Riley good through turn 1 and 2. Again, gets a good run. Something somewhere.
Preston just getting a little bit of movement in the back end as he comes out of turn 3. Oh, and again out of turn 5.
Yeah, he's trying.
The backing on that car really loose, or he's trying too hard.
Yeah, he's trying hard there, and he just to get the power down. Of course, we're not expecting any pit stops today, so we literally take the tyres right up to the end of life. It's we get a hot race. This conditions out there pretty favourable, actually, quite nice. But you get a really hot circuit. Then we're looking at tyres wearing right through to the band and exploding. Couple happened at Watkins Glen, of course. So you have to be careful of them. You can't burn them out too much. Patrick with 12.4 keeps getting quicker. Marty puts a 12.8 in, so everybody speeding up as well. But actually, the fastest man which we didn't see was Stein. He's got a run on Marty. He got 12.452, but didn't come up. Great move into turn 1. Marty tries to hold it around the outside. Oh, he gets forced out a little bit wide. That's great from Stein. He was like, no, Stein, you're not having that around the outside. And just pushes him out and onto the curb. It's very hard to get the traction down, and Marty down into third place. Great move.
Yeah, it was just Stein just left him enough space on the outside to make him decide whether he wanted that off track or not.
Yeah, I don't think it's over and done with, but from watching a race earlier on again in the week, well, it was just yesterday, he was able to keep his tyres intact very well through the long run, and pace at the end of the race earlier on was almost identical to Patrick's, so very quick indeed. And I think we've seen perhaps a little bit of tyre wear now, just maybe made the difference that he's able to finally get up close and get that move on Marty. Marty's still in the DRS zone. We'll use that to its fullest potential. I'm still of the opinion, I think the DRS is just a little bit underdone. I think this is what they wanted it to be like in real life, and I'm sure I've said that before, but compared to some of the passes that go on that we see on the real life, it's a lot more slam dunk when they get that close. But it should make for some exciting racing come the World Championship.
Yeah, personally, I can't wait for them to introduce that second tyre compound at some point in the future in a mandatory pit stop. I think that's really going to spice it up.
Good exit from Marty. It's worth pointing out that they said we were going to have it for the World Championship because the first couple of rounds are still the same build, so that's not going to be introduced for then. Marty may be getting a run, but we might see it for round 3, so the next build. Who knows? Oh! Mike just got himself a right old wiggle going through turn 4. So easily done. Just have a look, Ficarra as well, closing back in on Eunice. And we must have missed actually Marcus Jensen getting up and past Eunice. Identical move to what we just witnessed as well. So Ficarra up the inside in turn 4, and it looks like Boris is going to have a look. Oh no, what's... Major crash there, Ficarra out. It looked like he'd got the move done and complete. Eunice fights back. Boris sticks it up the inside. Hits Ficarra on the right rear. Ficarra around. I'm surprised we didn't collect anybody else. Take a quick look at that back on replay. I think Conrad's just experiencing a couple of technical issues. So we'll hopefully get him back in a moment. But yeah, so just... Eunice just dives up the inside. Boris just leaves in the room. Sorry, Ficarra leaves in the room. And yeah, Boris tries to stick his nose up the inside and just doesn't happen. Shame. It was a good little battle. Jump back forward, and it looks like Faro and Carlo are having a little battle. I think they've just exchanged positions a little bit there as well. Carlo having a look up the inside. Too far back to try anything from there. Carlo got some damage on his front wing as well, so it's like Conrad said, so he collected in there, and that's certainly affecting his pace. But car definitely much more compliant with a damaged front wing than it used to be on the old Williams FW31. You'd be looking at 1 to 2 seconds worth per lap slower, but you can still compete with this front wing, so should well, certainly helps the drivers, which much more realistic. But straight line speed is affected. I spoke to a few drivers. I said when you do get damaged, the straight line speed is like terrible, and car's good through the corners, but you can see that right there. All of a sudden, from being tucked up behind to just losing massive amounts of time. Back all of a sudden stretched itself back out, so we'll just go and have a quick look. 3-car battle of Kolak, Velosa and Preston. Velosa closing in on Kolak. At the moment, Kolak is the slowest of them out there, but we're only talking by 0.5 of a second, so nothing really. Bart Delat unable to close in, but I know that pace of the Gap team are very, very quick at the end. We touched on that earlier on. Potentially a good run this time, but no, Kolak gets great drive. Coming out through turn 3, should be far enough to defend it, although DRS has been deployed for Velosa. Does he get close enough to have a look? No, he doesn't, just not quite there.
Right.
Marty's not given up on the chase for second place as well. Still under a second, well within DRS zone, although a little bit of a bad line there. Just compromise him a couple of tenths. That might put him just outside. A good couple of corners now. Downhill left-hander, so tricky. I think I've just heard Conrad in my ear there. Are you back?
Yeah, sorry, it's the time when internet companies decide to give you problems, and yeah, did I miss anything? It certainly sounded like.
Yeah, there was a little coming together. Poor Fakara was yeah, the innocent victim, I think, there of an incident. So gave Eunice perhaps a bit too much room, and yeah, Boris thought he'd have a little bit of it as well. Caused the collision, unfortunately. Of course, no stewards for these races, so nothing will get looked back or anything on that. Wouldn't say that was protestable. Just a bit of a silly move. Safety rating takes care of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can, through the course of a season, you can certainly expect for incidents to take place, such as that. Admittedly, up until now, we've had a very, very clean series from what I've seen.
Racing has been great, actually. Very, very good. Been impressed with everyone. We've seen some real hard-fought side-by-side battles. So yeah, it's been that's been awesome. Dinkle closing in on the back of Bart Delat as well, who's in turn closing in on the back of Riley. So this three-car battle, any moment, I think, is going to become 5. Michael, very knowledgeable guy. If you haven't seen it, go and head over to the Simon race report. I think he's done a podcast with Michael. It's great to get to know the guys a little bit, and you can tell what Michael's all about on there.
Sorry, Alex. Boris Spolstra just put a move on Eunice into turn 1. Eunice looking to get back. Oh, there's a car up the inside of him. Matt Farrow having a look up the inside of Eunice, not making it stick.
Take a look at that back on the replay. See the whole lot. Yeah, great move, great run. You can see that. Just had the straight line speed to get up and past. No real damage from that little collision then for Boris. But yeah, Eunice trying to fight back.
And then in turn he comes under pressure from...
Yeah, Matt had a little look, but nothing going there.
Oh, Matt Farrow has put in a cracking drive so far. He's up into 12th place, but he started all the way back in 21st. So I mean, he managed to negotiate that first corner mayhem, and gained 9 places since the start of the race.
I think we just missed a move as well between Dinkel and Delat. Let's see if we can find where that was. Here we go. So coming onto the main straight. Didn't say he was any closer than he has been, but see if there's any kind of mistake or late move. In the DRS zone, deployed down the straight, closing in. Nothing there into turn 1. Gets a good line. You can see how much it's closed up. Bart does run a little bit wide. Oh, gets a big old wiggle going through turn 3. Couldn't get the drive down. Good 3-4 tenths lost, and he's just cannon fodder really. Then Dinkel with the DRS, just up alongside. Just yeah, great move. Just waited for a mistake really there from Delat, and it happened, and now he can go about trying to close in on Preston. Looks like we...
Oh yeah, Alex, you're going to have to bring up another replay. We've just had Eunice losing 2 places on that last lap to Matt Farrow and Carlo Labatti.
Do that?
It's just the last 3 corners. The third to last corner, he just... it's not really an overtaking, but Farrow just stuck it up the inside, made it stick, and then coming out of the last corner, it looks like went to the first corner, Labatti making the move stick, and Eunice taking the agricultural route at the end of the main straight.
Yeah, Eunice has got a bit of damage, of course, but so's Carlo as well. So, God, yeah, look at that slam, just straight through under acceleration. Just Eunice had nothing there.
Yeah, he already
well,
had some issues from the first lap. I think after that last excursion, he might have a few more.
Like you say, he fought back, but that was the end of that. Closer on Kolak as well, just 0.3 of a second separating those 2 at the moment. There been some sort of issue for our leader somewhere, Conrad, because he's only 5 seconds up the road. Back marker or something like that held him up. Has there been a bad lap?
Well, he had a very slow lap, 26. That was 1:18.4. I'll run through the lap and see where he's had his issues. No back marker is going to cost you 6 seconds. So I reckon he must have had it. Oh, here we go. Sorry, just coming out of turn 7 into turn 8. Akin just stepped out, spun the car, didn't hit anything.
See if I can find that on replay. Not sure if this is it. Probably gone back a bit too far, which I don't think that's worked. Let's see if we can get that again.
I think that's the only real mistake we've seen him make over the last 3 or 4 races.
Yeah, for some reason I can't seem to get the replay up on screen. It just keeps switching to a random place. Stay with it just to see if this is it this time. Also does close the standings up quite a bit. And will have cooked the tyres a little bit. Next lap was pretty impressive again though from him. Let's just stay with this. We did jump back about 30 seconds, but oh yeah. So he just got all out of shape and in the braking zone. Very strange for the car to react as it done, but yeah, he survived. He's okay. No real issues, but yeah, gap's down to 5.4 seconds.
Yeah, there's a bit of squeaky bump time there for him, and I think the only thing that might be hurting there is his pride more than anything else, and I hope we didn't pick it up.
Yeah, afraid so.
Ficarra's driven back as well. He's overtaken Yunus for 13th place. Yunus off again. I mean, he's having a mare right now.
Yeah, Ficarra off as well. So that might be race done for him. That's coming on turn 4. Let's have a look.
Oh,
See what
big
happened
crash.
there. Oh, we'll jump to that after we've seen this replay. Is that with Yunus, is it?
Yunus and Ficarra coming into turn 4.
Oh, so okay, yeah. It's just
Well,
yeah,
where was the brakes?
he just rogered him. That's a treat. Just have that. Not sure about that. But yeah, let's put probably both of them out of the race.
Oh, you know what? We're only at the end of January, but I'm pretty sure Ficarra's Christmas card list has just gotten a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Oh, there was just no brakes whatsoever from Yunus. And that most certainly is his race done. You know what, Ficarra's still going by some miracle.
These yeah, these new cars
That car's
are
bulletproof.
very hardy. Patrick feels the need to put the pedal to the metal, put a couple of fastest laps in, so his tyres are obviously in good position. But what we do have now is Bart the lap on Michael Dinkel up the inside into turn 1. Got a great run, DRS open. Dinkel round the outside's got the high ground for turn 2. Closes the door through 3, but he's going to be under a lot of pressure. Needs the DRS. Will he still get it? I think he will. He's going to have to cover the inside line. He does. Bart's going to try and do it round the outside. Great driving from both of them so far. Is there a cutback coming? No. Runs a little bit wide for Delat. Dinkel holds on. Great driving from both there.
Brilliant driving from both of them, and both of them seem to know where the brake pedal is as well.
Yeah, always helps. Vitella still very close to Stein here as well. Eight-tenths of a second, so that battle's not over and done with. If it gets any closer, we'll switch up and have a quick look at that. The time lost there as well. Dinkel was right on Riley, and all of a sudden he's you know, he's nowhere near. Riley's also dropped off the back of Filosa as well, so the Orion car looks like it's just not holding on to its tyres as well as some of his competitors out there.
As we see this every week. I'm going to sort of make a prediction here that for the next sort of 7 or 8 laps, everything's just going to go quiet for a little bit, and then the last 5, 6 or 7 laps is going to kick off big time.
Yeah, that's where the tyres really start to come in, and you could see Marty there just lit those rear tyres up coming out of that second little hairpin corner there into the downhill left, and yeah, all that advantage he gained on that lap, well, that's all just gone. So easy to do in this car though.
He managed just to stay within the DRS range as well. As that gap between him and Stein is just bordering on a second.
Yeah, does he get it this time? It does. It's the same DRS detection zone, I think, isn't it, that they use? I'm not entirely sure.
Lucky boy.
Yeah. Pulls himself back to within 9/10. Runs a little bit wide though. That's lost the time again, so he's outside DRS now. So good lap from Shorthurst will give him a little bit of defence. Right, what else is going on out there? Carlo closing in on Matt. Carlo's looks like he's got an older generation style front wing on there from back in like the 90s or something like that, the way it's been crumpled and compacted somewhat.
Tell you what, Ficarra and Daniels has been having a little go at it for the last couple of laps. I think Ficarra just managed to put Daniels into turn 1 on this current lap.
This time surely Carlo with a move. Yeah, that damaged front wing just keeping him at bay really. Farrow's quick enough, but through you can just see the difference in the car. He's got great corner speed on that. We know how good the setup is on that car. Just look at what Patrick's doing with it. So must be ever so frustrated in that cockpit right now. You know that you can go quicker if you can just get clear. The Latin Dinkle closing back in on Preston. He's only 1 second up the road again now. And those guys in the 12s and Preston sort of low 13s.
Sorry, I'm just having a little look at Carlo Labatti and Matt Farrow. Labatti looks very eager to get past. He had a little look going into turn 7 as Farrow just ran a little bit wide, but they're coming down the main straight now. Labatti is going to have the DRS, but Farrow seems to have a really good drive coming out of that last corner.
Yeah, I think it's just the damage on the front wing. So having talked to a couple of guys done some races and picked up some damage on that front wing, as soon as you get that, it really does hurt how quickly the car accelerates up to sort of top speed. Just hearing on the chat from Eunice as well, really he was suffering for a good part of that race due to the damage picked up in turn 1. And as he said, he's not had many races where he hasn't had damage in turn 1. So yeah, it'll be good to see what he can do. Hopefully next week we're at Phillip Island, I believe, so that should be an interesting race. Very similar kind of track to Interlagos in many ways, with slow speed, tight hairpin corners, long straightaway sections, and a 12.1 for Patrick. I say, look at that. That's very, very quick.
He obviously found a way to cool those tires down. Like I said, Phillip Island should be a great race. I want them to put that DRS zone right at the start of that last corner, and make it run all the way through to the end. We want to see some top speeds going down that straight.
Yeah, we want to see it. Oh, up the inside, Carlo. His car's quick there. He had to get close enough to make the move, and he's done exactly that. Farrow did leave enough room. And yeah, got great drive out of turn 3 as well, so you will hold on to this position too. So Finally, Carlo back up and into 11th place. A few little individual battles starting to form up as well. Dinkel has dropped Bart just a fraction now and he's 4/10 behind Riley Preston, but we're looking on the screen. This is the battle between Velosa and Kolak. 4/10 of a second. These two have been pretty much this far apart for the best part of the race. Just look at the lap times last time by a 13.091 compared to a 13.090, so very evenly matched. This time we've done a 13.3 for Velosa with a 13.1, so a little bit closer, 2/10. Needs a good run through turn 2 and 3 now. Just Kolak much more confident on the gas pedal through turn 3 it looks, and just pulls a bit of a gap, and yeah, Velosa nothing he can do even with the DRS.
Alex, I think Marty Piatella might have had a little issue somewhere. No, not really. He's been in high 12s, low 13s, but Steiner's managed to pull that gap open to over 4 seconds.
I think he must have done something this lap, because a minute ago I just checked it and he was 1.2, 1.3 seconds behind, and now you're right, 4.2. So we'll keep an eye on what he does for lap time this time by.
Oh, well, he's going to have issues. He might come under pressure. Turn 5, sorry. Got out of shape the back end, and there was contact with the inside wall.
Yeah, 15.9. So yeah, I'm not seeing any bodywork damage, but you're right, might have some suspension damage or something like that.
Preston and Dinkel at it again as well. It's come through turn 3, down the straight, down to turn 4. Preston is going defensive. Dinkel's got the run on him. Are they going to go side by side?
They certainly are. Dinkel could have held it on the inside. He would have been able to get there. It's going to be a late move. Preston does leave the room. Dinkel will have the inside here, but of course Riley will get it back for the right-hander. Sorry, for the left-hander. It was all important for Dinkel to stay on the outside there. He would have completed the move going into this corner, but I think he was just a bit more worried about Bart de Lac obviously wanting to get in on the action.
Oh, which he is most certainly going to do now. Oh, de Lac got a great run coming out of the last corner.
From attack to defence in all of half a lap. He will have the DRS. He's going to need to use a bit of push to pass as well. Use some of that ERS up to defend. He does that, defends the inside. Late on the brakes as well, that's good. It's exactly what Riley wanted to as well. He was coming under increasing pressure. And once again, both drivers with the DRS. The Lac's got the run though, straight past. He got an absolute phenomenal exit out of turn 3 there.
Yeah, and he made sure as well that he showed his car up the inside as soon as he possibly could as well, just to prevent Dinkel from covering him there. That's
really
possibly one of the most frustrating things in the world.
The
Sorry,
gap
Alex.
car comes in strong. We've seen this in the last few races that they've done as well. Patrick with a 12.0, just getting quicker and quicker out there right now. So fuel load's coming down. No one else really improving that much, but then I don't think they need to. Shorthurst up front, in second place, sorry, just 5.2 seconds now, so just, well, he does a 12.5 as well, so yeah. As this car gets lighter, tyres not really wearing too much here, it seems.
Sorry, Alex, quickly. My timing screen is showing as Stein Skortos being just about a second behind Patrick Holzman.
Indeed. Where did that happen then? Well, certainly wasn't the last lap.
Turn 1. Another turn 1 victim.
Jump it back. I'm not sure I've gone back far enough. You can push, but when you go over the limit, it can bite you. And I think we've got a race on now because Stein's car is very, very good in the long run. Have a look. Yeah, just overcooked it. Rears just come around. And he just about stops before he hits the barrier. So 2 mistakes from Patrick in this race. Uncharacteristic. We haven't seen it for a while, but yeah.
Yeah, he managed to find reverse gear on that McLaren as well. I don't think he was going to take any chances trying to spin it around. Oh, well then.
Battle for the lead.
Lap 42.
And he goes wide as well.
Oh, wow.
Has to come back on the track, goes instantly defensive. Needed to. His tyres are going to take a lap or so to settle down to a 1:23, so he lost 10 seconds on that lap. So the miracle he held on to the lead, to be honest. Car looks a little twitchy too. Shorthurst maybe with a move up the inside. Patrick saw it coming, went into the corner very deep.
Runs deep as well.
Yeah, compromises his line somewhat, but it should be okay. But he does feel like he's under a little bit of pressure now.
He's going to come under a lot of pressure on the main straight.
We've seen how good this gap car is coming out of the corners as well. Very, very quick. So the only other car actually to look the same is the Movano one. You can see they're pretty much even coming out of there. Surely once that DRS kicks in, we're going to see a battle into turn 1. Shorthurst already sizing it up. Patrick goes a little bit defensive. Back to the outside for Stein. Gets a great line off of that Patrick a little bit deep, and in turn 2 as well. A little squirrely coming through 3, but good exit from both drivers. Again, the DRS is just going to get him close. I don't think we're going to see him make a move.
He's off again.
Patrick way off. That's going to surely he's going to concede the position. Doesn't, just about holds on to it. He's pushing very, very hard right now, and mistakes are starting to happen pretty frequently. What they need to watch out for as well is Marty Patella is closing in on them pretty quickly right now as well. About 0.6 of a second that last lap, and he's only 4 seconds back. 2 or 3 more laps of this, and he'll be looking to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, I did make the call about the last 5 or 6 laps of this race. The Lard just put a move on Riley Preston as well to move himself up into 6th place. And yeah, the gap cars are getting feisty in the last few laps.
I tell you, they're very, very quick over the long run. Really have nailed that. Patrick again feels the need to go defensive. Oh, he's out of shape again in turn 1. Manages to keep hold of the apex at least. Otherwise, that would have been position lost. All the time the car is twitching around, he's heating the tyres up more and more. It makes it even more tricky to drive.
I almost think he's his own worst enemy at the moment. I mean, didn't really have a need to go defensive going into turn 1 there.
Yeah, I think he's perhaps just covering off some sort of like late move that would force him to concede the position, you know, and give him the room up the inside, because then that will make him very vulnerable to sort of through turn 2 and 3. Maybe for a move in 4, so. But you're right, it's just affecting him a little bit more. Got no chance of getting away. That's the thing, he has the pace to pull away. But he just needs to stop, obviously, taking these defensive lines. What are you going to do, though, when there's a driver just 0.4 of a second back with DRS and a whole bunch of ERS and everything else deployed to try and get his car up alongside? Doesn't have to go defensive this time. Shorthurst good on the brakes, mind you. Closes into 0.2 of a second.
You know who's coming. Piatella just pumped in a 1 minute 12.7 on that last lap to close up by another half a second.
Yeah, Patrick pulled out to 7 or 8 then. That's that might be the margin he needs just to settle back into a rhythm.
Actually, that's all he really needed to do is get that good run
through.
Just
drifting the rear end into that right-hander there. That's not going to do. Well, it's not the quickest way. He loses a couple of tenths, and he's outside the DRS zone. So it just goes to show how quickly it can switch around. Yeah, Patrick looks pretty safe, but he's been made to work for this one. Well, I say that he's put himself under all the pressure.
And the battle between Preston and Dillard is ongoing as they switch position to one more.
Closed into the back of this pack as well. He's been coming slowly but surely.
Oh, Dinkle's got a run on Dillard. Is he going to have a look into turn one? Wow, Dillard running wide.
Oh, it's very close.
Whee!
Marcus takes Delat there as well, Dinkle as well. So just yeah, out of shape for Delat.
Well, there's a lot of oohs and ahs and oohs going on in this race. There has been a lot of nearly crashes and get-togethers.
Right, what's going on up front? 1.7 seconds. That battle is over unless he makes another mistake. Yeah, Filosa on Kolak as well. These guys have been separated by half a second all race. I can't see that one changing now. But
they've got Holzman starting the final lap of the race. I'm pretty sure he'll be happy to see the checkered flag, providing he keeps hold of the first position.
I'll tell you who will be happy with his performance in this race, and that is Marcus. Marcus, obviously Class A driver, and he is mixing it right now with, you know, World Championship drivers of Riley Preston, Michael Dinkle. Bart Delat actually is a pro driver, didn't do the Pro Series. Not sure why he didn't do that. Every bit capable, and look at how good he is in this car as well. I'm sure he'd love to be doing the World Championship in this car, but yeah, shame he didn't do it because he'd have been absolutely perfect for the grid. Great driver, awesome battling through this race. But yeah, Jensen, he'll be absolutely stoked with his performance in this one. Worked his way up from his qualifying position, and yeah, looking good.
Yeah, he started on back in 14th place, so he's 6 places up, and providing these two in front of him gets into a little bit of a battle.
Sorry, Conrad. Here comes Patrick though across the finish line. He takes victory. He made it tough on himself, but still a great drive nonetheless. Ignore the timing screen. Stein comes across here. Filosa. Preston does just about hold on from Dinkle and Jensen. Delat. Everybody just all screaming across the line. With Pitella in 3rd place there. Kolak is going to hold on to 4th place. You've got Boris there, followed by Carlo. Farrow couldn't get back past Ficara. He was been in the wars. Here he comes. We'll bring him up on screen for the moment. But yeah, he's been bumped and bashed a couple of times in this race. So he'll be happy to at least finish. He should have been in and around that battle with sort of Delat and that. At one point, he was right with Marcus. So it just goes to show how much time that he lost in that race. Jan in 13th, I believe.
Jan's going to come across the line 14th place.
14th, sorry, yeah, my timing screen just a bit wrong as it's showing Patrick way down at the moment, which is obviously not right. And Matthew Daniels even, and then Timu there. Wow. It's always those last 5 or 6 laps, isn't it, Conrad?
It sort of, you have to prepare yourself for that last little 20% of the race. It always builds up and it just goes quiet. It's like the silence before the storm.
You want to take us through our final standings?
Yeah, well, Patrick Holzman today made it kind of difficult for himself, but he managed to keep a hold of the win, and he's in first. Stein Skortorsk moving up from 3rd to 2nd through the race. In 3rd place, we had Marty Piatella. 4th place, Marin Kolak. Sebastiano Filosa coming home in 5th place. We had Riley Preston in 6th, Michael Dinkle in 7th, and Marcus Jensen in 8th place. Patelat in 9th, with Boris Pusher in 10th place. Carlo Batti came home in 11th, with Matt Farrow just behind him in 12th. Masumi Lama Ficara in 13th place, Juan Schwitter in 14th, Matthew Daniels in 15th, Timu Valkeavi in 16th, and Johan Olampi in 17th. We had a couple of retirements through the course of the race, which was Younes, Marco Diaconto, Sebastian Dunkel, and Mika Happinen, who retired on the first lap of the race.
So then we've got Phillip Island next week. I think we're going to see exactly the same type of racing again at Phillip Island, where it's all going to come down to those last 5 or 6 laps. Tyres start to wear, people struggling to get out of that tricky left-hander that leads onto the main straight. It was a pig in the old car, and that had an awful lot more downforce than this one. So, and it seems to be that's where this car really sort of is a handful in those high-speed corners. So like turn 3 and that downhill left-hander here. So I think we're going to have a great race there. We'll be back obviously next week, same time, here on iRacing Live and on Apex Racing TV. But thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week, Phillip Island.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
For iRacing to get Le Mans is huge. I mean, this is a unique event, a unique track where, you know, half of the track is public road, so you can never test on it, you never get experience on it, and it's 8 miles in length, 4-minute lap time in a GT car. So, you know, even if you're here for an hour of testing, that's only 15 laps, and you're only going to see the corner 15 times that day. The first section going through the Dunlop area is pretty unique. You know, it's got elevation change and off camber. Then you go down Mulsanne into the chicanes, and you know the straights are unbelievably long. It's a tricky track, and you know every year I've come here, this is being my 4th year, you learn something new every time.
We've wanted to add Le Mans to iRacing for a long time, and we've really been working hard towards it for the last 5 years. But really, things only came together in the last week leading up to this race, so it was a real scramble to put everything together. The majority of Le Mans is public roads, so when they're preparing for the 24-hour race, it's really the only time that we can visit to laser scan and photograph the track so that we can recreate it in iRacing. We work closely with the ACO to get essentially exclusive access to the facility and everything that we needed to get the laser scanning and photographic reference that we need to create the track. We were very fortunate to be at Le Mans at the most important time of the year and gain that experience of being there. And we're going to really do the best we can to put that into our work and making sure that the Le Mans in iRacing is the best Le Mans, the most exciting and accurate recreation of the track possible.